Hello, I'm Freddy Hawk, and this is another episode of Pauper Lab. This time with this Temur Energy or Temur Wildfire Energy. And I've been thinking about this deck for a long time, and I still don't know how to build it. Like the part of the deck that deals with the card advantage, because essentially Temur we don't have like Bojuka Box, and we need to run Relic of Progenitors, and I'm playing deep analysis here. I don't know if this is correct, but you know, and I'm not playing Lording Reviews because this deck runs the Attune of Ether, Attune with Aether, and this is like the or Lording Review here. Generates energy for the first Galvanic Discharge deal 5 damage, which I think it's fine. It's nice, and the only problem I have with this deck is the card advantage package, but we still run a Monarch, like 2 copies of the red Monarch, and we still run the deep analysis. That this deck can draw a lot of cards, and also Cleansing Modifier to draw a card. In Brainstorm, just find us 1 card or 3 new cards, and we have like 8 shuffles, not 8, like 12 shuffles because cleansing shuffles, attune shuffles and the landscape. But essentially, we are trading black from the giant wildfire to play blue, and some card selection, some counters to protect our threats that are like mid to late game threats, and of course, we are playing some Hydroblast on the sideboard. So that essentially what this deck wants to blue for, and I decided to test the Either Spike. That is essentially a mana leak that generates 2 energy when you cast, and you can spend any amount of energy to make your opponent pay that amount of mana to negate the Either Spike. But I don't think that there's a nice counter to have. I'd rather have this negate because it is just counter anything that's not a creature and protects very well our threats. And essentially, the green part of the stack is just the splash for Riding Chrysalis, Attune with Aether, Pulse of Morasa to gain some life and rebuying our threats. And essentially, some pieces of the sideboard, I decided to play only 1 Heritage Reclamation and 2 Ancient Grudge. But I think you want to play only 1 Ancient Grudge and 2 Heritage, or maybe even take out 1 Weather or 1 Relic or 1, to play 2 of or each of those cards. Because artifacts are really really annoying now because you see a lot of Throne decks and you really want to deal with the creatures that are 8/8 or 7/7, and Galvanic Discharge, Fanged Flames, and Suplex cannot deal with those big creatures. Maybe you can activate double Attenuator and deal 7 damage with the Galvanic Discharge at some point, but that's not happening too much. But Weather the Storm, Fire Cannonades, Relic of Progenitors is a Relic of Progenitors is the kind of a wombo combo with the Ancient Grudge and the Deep Analysis. But in the matchups when you wanna bring the relic, maybe you don't wanna bring the Ancient Grudge, I think at all, or you wanna take out the Deep Analysis, like against Dredge, Mono Red, and Spy. Those 2 cards are kinda useless. So yeah, I don't think Relic of Prudence is a bad idea. But anyway, and we are playing Fanged Flames and Suplex to exile the Sneak Snacker. That is a cancer in the Pauper format right now. But not only that, but Suplex can also deal with the Kenku artifact lands, like the 3/3 that are indestructible. You just exile them. But if you don't want to run Suplex, you want to run 4 Fanged Flames to deal with the even more with the Guardian of the Guild Pact. you should run or suplex or cast into the fire in the sideboard. Okay, so you might just take out the enchant grudge and run 2 suplex on the sideboard. But this is the deck. I'm gonna be linking this exact list on the description and in the comment section. And I think I'm gonna be showcasing 4 matches. I think it's 4 matches. I think it's 4, not 3. Generally, I like to showcase only 3 matches, but this time I think it's gonna be 4. And if you like my channel, if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel to help me out. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a suggestion, and let's see the gameplay now. Okay, Pauper Lab, Temur Energy, and we move into 6 because the hand was pretty bad. We are playing against some kind of DIMIR deck, DIMIR Artifacts deck, DIMIR Cryogen deck. Fine. I don't know if that was the best play. Maybe we could have played the other bridge and search for the island like on the next turn. You're gonna discard a Attune with Aether because you have 2, of course. I think this at this point my opponent is playing a kind of slow deck, so we need to capitalize on this Murmuring Mystic. And then I think, yeah, we discarded the Monarch. It was a correct discard because my opponent has now two Refurbished Familiar, and but we draw the Chrysalis. But also, I need this negate to protect my threats because opponent is gonna have cast downs, and I have this Galvanic Discharge because I need to to deal with like a Ultron Monitor. Now I can deal with those two Refurbished Familiar with my Murmuring Mystic. So I'm not using this discharge on the Murmuring Mystic on the Refurbished. I need to counter this, so I'm kind of in trouble now. My opponent has 2 Cryogen Relics on the board, so if they find any draw spells, we are in trouble. And at this point right here, we are in trouble because you only deal with those 2 Refurbished, and we have a token, and we are dead because opponent has a lot of draw, a lot of ways of dealing with our creatures. Green Bubble, okay. It is GG. I'm only gonna draw a card here because if I draw Deep Analysis, we have a shot. Or we draw a land. If you draw Deep Analysis, we will draw in 4 cards, going to 9, but we gonna take 4, going to 5, but we're gonna draw 4 cards, and I'm gonna have 5 cards in hand for the next turn. So we could answer those 2 creatures, and my opponent only have 3 more draws with the Cryogen Relics, but it's fine. It happens. We're not flooded. Did not flooded. We find Chrysalis and Murmuring Mystic, but we did not find any card advantage. And I think this is a problem in this deck. Maybe this deck needs more card advantage in some ways. I don't know. Maybe Aura of Bolas. I don't know. And so let's go to the game 2. The sideboard wise was taking out 2 Fire Cannonades and bringing the 2 Ancient Grudges because you know we can destroy the artifact lands and refurbs, mirror enforcers if my opponent has. So I think it's very useful. Now we are kind of ahead because we have all those card selection with the shuffle, the removals, chrysalis. We don't have protection for our threats, but maybe it is a case and we need to run more protection, like even the 3rd copy of the spell. that is very strong when you have Chrysalis, when you have a Memory Mystic. That's what I think. We are casting the deep analysis opponent counters. Opponent has a Bojuka now would be bad, but it seemed it did not have. Okay, we can draw with the deep analysis. No, we're gonna we can still draw with the deep analysis. But it seems I'm making this mistake, maybe. We could draw with the deep analysis and still have this negate open. I'm gonna counter. Opponent's gonna dispel. This is good for the opponent, but we still have some card advantage. I guess this was okay. I'm gonna shuffle and I'm gonna deep analysis again. Not deep analysis. No, yeah, I deep analysis. Destroy the opponent's land because opponent was just opponent was low tapping. So now we have a lot of protection. We're gonna slam this monarch, I believe. We can do that and leave the mana open. Yeah, we're gonna opponent's gonna counter. Yeah, this was okay. We counter back, we fight. And we find another post of Morasa. Of course, we're gonna have a lot of threats being, you know, I don't know why I discarded the post there. We could have discarded the. Oh my God. Okay, maybe we should have. Maybe we should destroy this Lambas now. I think it was a mistake not destroying the Lambas now because our opponent will not have. Okay, I'm gonna counter this because it's pure card advantage. Just pure card advantage. Okay, Crystal is back. Opponent did not have a counter and more card advantage. This game we are finding our card advantage, but the opponent is kinda stuck on mana. So are us because we have only 6 mana. This deck is kind of mana hungry. And then opponent just concedes because he find the 5th mana, but opponent has 4 cards in hand. Maybe he's packing like, I don't know, maybe more removal. I don't know if it was removal, he was trying to kill this guy or the Chrysalis. I don't know why my opponent conceded, but maybe he had more lands in hand. Maybe it doesn't make any sense being more lands in hand. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe more counters, but he did not try to counter the Chrysalis. I very confused about my opponent hand, but okay, let's go to game 3. Okay, this hand is not very good. Maybe we mulligan here. Yeah, we mulligan 2 times. We have a Chrysalis. We have a nice curve. We have a, or we have a Wildfire now, hoping opponent doesn't have a Hydroblast, and opponent does not, which is very nice. Next turn, we're not gonna play the Crystals, unfortunately, because if I tap land, but we have Ancient Grudge to activate and to cast and flashback. If my opponent plays 2 artifacts now, like, you know, not Kinja Trio, but this land might just see a Ancient Grudge now. Yeah. Deep analysis because I don't care about my opponent resolving something now, and I don't have a counter. I did have a dispel for a draw spell, instant draw spell, but Crystal is coming down. We have a lot of things going on here. We have our threats, we have our protection. This is going very well. Okay, I think I'm gonna protect. Opponent found one catch down. Vendetta. So I just decided to let my crystals die. Another crystal is coming down. Very strong because my opponent needs to find another removal, the 3rd removal, and then I have a Memory Mystic, which is even better to finish the game. An opponent found the second cast down, which is fine. But this crystal is gonna be really big. And I am casting the Murmuring Mystic and the Suplex on the Candy Trail. So my opponent cannot draw a card and gain 3 life. I guess this was a right move, but we shall see. I have two Faint Flames for in case of Sneaky Snacker. Then my opponent found a bridge. It would be nice to have the bridge being the target of our suplex, but anyway, opponent just concedes. I don't know why he conceded here. But 6 cards in hand, 4 mana, but and you know what we have here. Opponent needs to find the 4th removal for the I don't know, maybe the Money Mystic, and we have a pressure here. Opponent's 14. We have only 3 cards in hand, but well, again uh, we are like at low cards, maybe a lot of lands. Maybe we are playing too much lands in this deck. Maybe we need to play only 20, but I needed one more green source or a blue source, I don't remember. And I needed to play 21, but I don't know. So this was the first match. Let's go to the second match. Let's go another match. Pauper Lab, Temur Energy, and another mulligan. I was playing 21 lands in this deck, but sur surprisingly, I was like having a lot of land, a lot of mana, a lot of hands with one lands or 2 lands and being stuck on 2 lands for like 2, 3 turns. This is not okay because we run 4 Attuneritas and 2 Cleansing Wildfires, and also you run 21 lands. If you run 20 lands, you increase a lot your chance of having 3 lands in your opening hand, or 2 lands in your opening hand, and drawing your 3rd land on until turn 3, I guess, your turn 3, maybe, you know, but it's okay, it happens. 2 green mana is not very good, we have a lot of red cards here. The opponent's not gonna like this. Opponent is not gonna like this because he's gonna gain a lot of life, but I don't care about my opponent's life. He's gonna take this Fiery Cannonade. I'm running Fiery Cannonade here because we have this Commodore. He dies to Breath Weapon, so I don't want him to die. You can run Breath Weapon if you want, but I'd rather run the Cannonades. I have I have a access to Breath Weapons via mana traders to just rent them, but I just rather have Cannonades in this deck. And we exile that, we attack. At this point, I think we cannot lose, maybe, but they are lacking removal at this point. We have only 1 removal. Mass removal here doesn't count like the one of the 8 spot removals that we have. If wildfiring, trying to find some more protection because if my opponent tries to bring more creatures to the board, we are in trouble because he can lose the monarch, and we are not finding more removals. Okay, as a flyer, we have the Murmuring Mystic with Attuned with Aether. We're gonna do that. And we're gonna protect pretty well our Murmuring Mystic with 2 dispels. Opponent doesn't know that, but opponent just concedes because maybe opponent doesn't have even 1 and removal spell. Like, you need to be like a Journey to Nowhere. A Journey we cannot counter, obviously, but if it was a Turbine Charm, you need 2 more creatures. So let's go to the game 2. Okay, sideboard wise, we just took out the Pulse of Morasses because they are Boros Bully, I believe, but we don't need to gain life. And we took out 1 Dispel. We just kept 1 in case of Rally the Peasants. And we just put we just cut 2, 3 cards. We just put in no, one deep analysis for so 4 cards. You just put in 3 relics and one cannonade. I think that was the sideboard. This hand is not very good. Now we have a shuffle for this brainstorm. We have a lot of lands. Heritage Reclamation can exile the Lunarch Veteran or a draw spell. I think this deck does not play. No, I think this deck plays Knackers, but the opponent did not find the game one. I just don't remember the game one anymore. I already forgot. We are countering the Discovery because this is a. I'm assuming my opponent can discard even 1 or 2 Snackers there, so it's a problem. Okay, we just send back the reclamation. Just step out. It's fine. I believe. Yeah, we need to find the cannonade. We found. Okay, this was good, but opponent has nothing. Pretty crazy. I think opponent we draw a card. Opponent did not crack the clues. I don't know why. Opponent's like it was a mistake. 2 Snackers. This is the way my opponent can get back this game. Now destroying the Chrysalis. I don't know why I destroyed that Snacker with that discharge. I don't know. I did think that as a good play. We are pretty flooded now because we have 8 lands in play. 2 even more. I think it's 2. 2 fetch lands on the graveyard and 2 lands in hand. This is a lot of flood. And 1 more land. Okay, Memorial Mystic. We need to find one deep analysis. Okay, we are really flooded. We lose the crystals, then we lose the game because now we're gonna lose in the air. Pretty much. We're gonna lose the Monarch. It's bad enough, but being against flyers with no chrysalis, we have the murmuring, but we need to stop drawing lands. Okay, this was a okay draw. In our brainstorm, found another murmuring mystic with another, and I just attacked because I wanted my monarch back, trying to draw more removal, but more lands. And now we need to. We have 2 draw steps. We have 2 draws to find more spells to create more birds to protect us against those flyers. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. Maybe they are more lands. But now 4 cards in hand now. At some point, a Turban Shine go, oh, another land. Another land. So we lose the game. Let's go to the game 3. This time I tried something different for the sideboard wise to the game 2, the game 3 rather. I just took out the 1 Attune with Aether, also 1 deep analysis, 1 brainstorm, and 2 suplex. I think in total was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So I 7, 8. I took out one land because I did not need that much lands, and we need to find our board wife, but we took out 8 cards. We put in the decided in the Hydroblast for the draw spells, and we decided in the 3 relics and the we maintain the 3 relics and the cannonades. So that was the thing there. So we have 2 crystals. We have all 4 colors. We have relic really on the beginning of things. Opponent mulligan to 5, which is bad, but okay. Opponent 2 creatures, which is strong, but let's see what we find here. We need more. Yeah, we have this removal. We can Fang Flames this Lunar Veteran, but I think I'm gonna wait for this relics really put some work here because just ate a Pursue the Past is gonna eat this relic of Rally the Peasants, and opponent has a Lunar Veteran in play. So another Tribune Inspector, 3 cards in hand, another Inspector. Okay, that's fine. This is, I think I'm gonna Fang the Flames this Lunar Veteran at some point, I believe. Okay, another red source. The penalty is very good because we need to see more cards next turn. I'm gonna Faint Flames, that's fine. I don't like this very much, but Snacker now we have a Relic of Progenitus. Okay, opponent cracked the clue. And opponent concedes, I don't know why. I think he saw maybe more creatures and no answers. And the opponent think about, okay, we're gonna lose this Rally the Peasants. Opponent has a Chrysalis and 2 cards in hand. Opponent doesn't know my cards, but anyway, this was the second match. Let's go to the third match. Okay, another match, Pauper Lab. Temur Energy. And this end is not very good, but has some too much for drops, but we got lucky and we draw a Cleansing Wildfire. We are against Celestial SLIVERS, but I don't think this is a very bad matchup. I think this is an even matchup because we have removals, but we did not find any removal. One is just going to town. Crazy. 3 Lords is too much to handle. I guess I Fanged Flames maybe save us, but now we have this Chrysalis to block. We have 2 Chrysalis, but yeah, opponent's getting scary on the board. It's fine. We're gonna just take it because we need the Chrysalis as big as we can because we have 4 tokens for the Chrysalis now. So both Chrysalis will be 6/7 will block the creatures. Okay, this is the perfect draw. Just a piece brawl. Opponent do not attack. Those 2 cannonades at some point could be very strong because we can clear the board. You just need your opponent to attack. Then we block those lords. Destroy 2 lords. And then we do double cannonade to sweep the board. But at some point, I could find a Galvanic Discharge and just kill a Lord and just go double Fire Cannonade. Could be now. I could play a Galvanic Discharge here and also double Cannonade. I think we should have the mana, right? Because we pay here, you could sacrifice two of those. One on red would kill one of these. Two in red, two in red. Yeah, of course, we would have the negate to the. But I think at the time I was thinking about a prismatic strands because it would counter the prismatic strands. Opponent would just would just it was just flashbacked. But maybe opponent would do that on the burn spell and not on the cannonades. But I do discard the cannonade. No, I just put a cannonade on the top and I let there, but that's fine. No, I don't remember what happened with my other cannonade. It's on the top of yeah, the top of my deck. It's fine. I could attack with the flyers, but I don't know. I was just trying to be safer. Yeah, at this point we just double cannonade. I was not afraid of the prismatic strands. My opponent did not have a prismatic strands, but he could have. But this was the game one. Let's go to the game two. To game one. Now let's go to the game two. The sideboard wise here was I took out one negate and I just sided in one more cannonade. I guess. Yes, that was the plan because the dispel can be a better answer because it has only one mana. But my opponent would have Journey to Nowhere, which is fine against our creatures, and negate is better. But I don't know. Maybe one deep analysis could be out because we need all those answers because one might have protections. But at this point, I just mulligan that hand. We have a cannonade, and this hand is low. We don't have any of our removal spells, like spot removals. What we found a removal now. Fanged Flames. If opponent did not play two lords or a lord and a sliver that give one toughness to have sliver, we could destroy. Now we're gonna get rid of one of the, and we had the negate to a protection. Opponent might have protection with one mana, one white mana. We know that it's possible. At this point, I think I'm gonna just Chrysalis. Of course, I'm gonna Chrysalis because I have the Cannonade, I have the Negate, I have the Pulse of Morasa in case I need it. Yeah, this is liver here would mean our death because we are playing uh, red removals, and red removals are the worst thing against this because you just regenerate. Opponent will just regenerate. All slivers have vigilance, so you attack. Opponent tries removal, you just tap. You have four regenerate. Uh, you have four regenerators sources here. So this is really bad. I don't think we can fight this, but you're gonna see. Opponent's attacking. What's the bad thing here? You just block because I don't know, I'm gonna die if I don't. But what should I do here? Opponent needs to tap out from these levers, from the regenerating sources that my opponent has, resources that he has, but it's impossible because I don't have any one single removal. A single removal will do nothing, and we don't have even one removal. Opponents just regenerate the guy. I just jump it and take no damage, and then we are pretty bad here. We need to go for a lot of tokens with this more mystic. I mean a lot of tokens. And my opponent just do not regenerate this liver. This is a critical mistake. I don't understand here why my opponent did not regenerate, because it's just a matter of tap himself, the cryptic sliver, tap himself, regenerate himself, you know. And I don't understand why my opponent did that. Just let the slivers that would give him the win, but it's okay. How you take it, I don't know. Now you see that his slivers, my opponent just concedes, just the shame concede, because you know that you just let the win slipping from your hand at this point, because you know this is a very strong sliver against those removal decks that are not you know, it's not fault, doesn't let the creature regenerate. So, and would found there's no fault here to kill the lords, or you know, I don't think that regenerate uh, stops the, at least I don't know, the fanged flames or the suplex, because the regenerate says that it regenerates the creature from the lethal damage, or being destroyed by destroyed effect. But when you the lethal damage, you not will not kill the creature. Fanged Flames doesn't kill the creature. Instead of killing the creature, Fanged Flames exile the creature. So I don't know if he kills exiling, or if he exile the creature instead of killing it. I don't know exactly, but also the same thing applies with the suplex, because you do three damage, and if the creature would die this turn to that 3 damage, then the creature is exiled. But I don't know. I'm not sure. It's possible that this liver here just wings this battle. He just regenerate the creature that is being destroyed with the Faggot Flames or the suplex. But I don't know exactly. I'm being totally honest with you guys. So if you know, leave a comment down below and let me know. So let's go to the next match. Okay, the last match, Pauper Lab, Temur Energy, we mulligan to 6, and this hand is fine. As you can see, we have all of our colors. I don't know why we started with this blue. Maybe we just want to brainstorm now and patch. Maybe that was the reassigning. My opponent has only 1 mana. This is really bad. Okay, if he's looting. Okay, need not fight man. This is really bad. It's a red madness, but really bad. And Chrysalis, but I guess my opponent should find a land now. Yeah, opponent did not find a land, it just concedes. This is a thing that can happen when you play. To be honest with you guys, I let this match here because I want to talk about also some about this the amount of lanes you play in your deck. When you play like 18 lands in this mono red madness, of course you wanna draw two lands in your hands, but sometimes you're not gonna not drawing. Sometimes you're even fifth looting, you not draw it. Opponent could have a blood token await some card and just try to find out at the end. But to be honest, and I would play like 19 lands at least, if not 20, like Alessandro Piracini is running in his mono red madness. And I think this is a mistake. Running 18 lands in this deck is a mistake. I played this deck with me. I played this deck a lot of times doing 18 lands, and I had a lot of troubles finding the third land or even the second land sometimes. And I don't like that at all because I can't play my spells. And if I can't play my spells, I can't win the game. So I recommend you to run at least 19 lands in this deck. It is pretty strong. Or even test about the 20 lands for you to see something. Maybe you don't like, but at least test it. So let's talk about the game two now. The sideboard wise was we took out all the deep analysis because of course you don't want to pay 3 life. And also a dispel because this deck plays a lot of sorcery speed cards like also. And we took the two fire cannonades and also two attenuators. I think we brought like four Riders the Storm, four Hydroblasts, I guess. Yeah, four Hydroblasts and four Riders the Storm. I think we took out two, four, seven, eight. It was 8 cards taking out and 8 cards taking in, four Riders and four Hydroblasts. And this is a good hand. There's no mystery. It is a good hand. We don't have green, of course. We don't have green. Well, no, we have green. What I'm talking about, we have the green bridge. But anyway, the opponent discarded 2 lands. Now the opponent's flooded because he discarded 2 lands. They have 3 lands in play. 4 lands, okay. Opponent's flooded, but it happens. Also, I was talking about on the game one that this deck has a lot of problems sometimes finding the third copy, the third mountain or the second mountain. But when you flood with this deck, you have Fifth looting. You can just discard away all the exceeded mountains, all your flood away. So it's very good. I think it is uh it's a good thing to play 20 lands in this deck because you have Fifth looting. And you also have the discard spells that if you don't want to discard the the snacker or the fire temper, you want to discard a mountain and having extra mountains because even lava dart is nice being in your hand, but it's nice in the graveyard, but it's nice in your hand also because you play in the hand and from the graveyard for only 1 mana and you do five no 6 damage to your opponent with the snipe with only 1 mana. It's really strong. So I think it's okay, guys, running 20 or 19 lands in this deck. I think is a good number. Also, I thinking about now we have brainstorm and also weather the storm. Now we have even the spell. Our hand is very strong. If we find one more land, we are pretty set. The opponent has 6 lands in play and 3 cards in hand. I don't know why my opponent's still playing lands. Maybe he has only lands in hand. But even that, so he should stop at 6 mana. It's fine. I gonna find more lands with the this is perfect. We ramp one and draw one land. Next turn we can play the Chrysalis and stay with the Weather the Storm, Negate, and also Dispel. This is very strong. Oh, Jesus Christ, 2 Weather the Storm is very crazy. Então, I was just speaking Portuguese for a second. So I was about to say so, and I said então. The Portuguese. Okay, you know that I wanna win the game when we find 4 Weather Storms. Like I said, this was a easy game. This is not a very easy matchup because we had a slow deck, and slow decks are kind of prone to the Mono Red Madness. But we have Weather Storm. It's the best answer to the Mono Red Madness if you have some pressure. And if you have Chrysalis or Temur Mystic on the board and Weather the Storm in your package, you're pretty much set. And then we found 4 of them. Like I don't know, uh, Storm 4. We would like 12 here, but like was 5 here. It was be I don't know. It would be like a lot of life. But easy, it's not an easy matchup, but this one was easy because all of this. And we draw all the lands perfectly, all the colors, the counter spells to some kind of uh, even found 2 removals. One perfect removal for the snackers. Cause in case the snacker hit the board, we just remove the snacker from the game. We drew the wildfire, we drew brainstorm, we drew the another removal to the get the snipe or the you know casting frame briefer. So this was pretty well set. I just let this matchup to the record here because this was a very representative of about this Red Madness being good, being better in my opinion, rather being better running around 20 lands. I think this was a good show for this idea also, and also how this deck can perform against Mono Red Madness. When you find the answers, you need to find the answers against this deck. If you don't find your answers, you're just gonna be dead. I think this is the most for sure. This is the most explosive deck in the format, and also I think one of the best, if not the best deck. And this was another episode of Pauper Lab. And if you like it, subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.